Been tagged in recent weeks, so the Saints, Nick Dos Santos and his caps, her numbers have skyrocketed. And Ali Drennan for the Gold Coast Suns just really starting to find her groove in the centre as well. So we'll see if Jamie Stanton, the tagger for the Gold Coast Suns, goes to Emily Bates, but Jess will get us underway.
We've already seen one matchup to keep your eye on. Kathy Svarka's gone to Ali Drennan in the middle of the ground, and the umpire's found a free kick going to Charlie Rowbottom. So it's a first look for the Gold Coast Suns, wearing their Indigenous strip this evening. Rowbottom kicks a long one inside 50. The numbers favour Brisbane. A mark almost claimed by Bohanna. Ball spills to ground, and O'Dwyer and Monaghan force a stoppage.
Almost claimed. How's this not a mark?
Was it a mark?
Oh, fair point.
Oh,
yeah, would have got away with that one if I was down there.
So a scrap underway inside 50 here for the Gold Coast Suns. Quick hurried kick, dropping it was hotter. It was an awkward one to try and control. Here's that play we're talking about, all Australian form. Bates gets it out to Ellinger, kicks down the line. Player in front, it was dropped really by Dunn in the end. Well done by Smith, got a handball away. O'Dwyer out to Anderson. Great pressure being applied by Drennan from behind, and then Rowbottom's wrapped up in a tackle. They get a little dinky kick away. Caught Yorston firing out the handball. Here's Howarth, great to see her back in. She's the only Indigenous player on the list or on playing for the Gold Coast Suns tonight. She'll be up for a big one, I think. Kalinda Howarth wearing the number 23 for the Gold Coast Suns because her favourite player is Buddy Franklin.
So you expect this game to be highly contested early. The Gold Coast Suns leading the competition in clearances and tackles, but Brisbane second in the competition for contested possessions as Conway kicks Brisbane inside 50. Here's a chance for Hodder. Gives the handball to Anderson. Now Bodie just finds a little bit of room to move, just chips it into the pocket, out the back doors.
Well, one thing you can rest assured is it's hot through the middle of the ground, so the pressure applied by both teams been scrappy, but we see that obviously resulting in a shot on goal here with Dawes, but sometimes something happens out of nothing, but the territory side of things leaning towards the Lions.
So Isabel Dawes, one of Brisbane's best last week against St Kilda, and she's got the first of the afternoon, and Brisbane draw first blood.
As you can see here, just one thing you got to do is just always have the momentum with you. You can see the weight of numbers, kick forward, outnumbered Dawes, but just falls right in between. You make your own luck as a forward if you've got good ball movement, and you can see that your adrenaline, that one's gone 20 rows back. So not only did it go through, it sailed through post height. What a start for the Lions.
Well, she enjoyed that one, Isabel Dawes, and why wouldn't you? It's her first goal rather for the season. She reminds me a little bit of a mini Lauren Arnell. Got the same look, got the black boots, got the same taste in music, I'm told as well, Jess. I'm not sure what that is.
Garth Brooks, is it?
Well, I can't clarify whether it's good or bad. I just know that it's a little mini-me out there. Drennan out to Stanton, just breaks through a couple of tackles, gets it inside 50. Monaghan, clever. Just tap that to the advantage of her teammate. Campbell trying to pick it up down there.
Well, here's the first advantage for Gold Coast. So their forward pressure this season has been enormous, and that happens when your midfield files down and your defence are proactive. So you can see all the numbers around here at the moment, just creating opportunities.
Quick hands, good tackle by O'Dwyer. It affected the kick, and there's Stanton with the quick snap offline. What a great player she has been, Jamie Stanton, 26-year-old who grew up on the Gold Coast, foundation player for the Suns. Of course, she started, Jess, at the Brisbane Lions for the first couple of years.
She did, and then went to North Melbourne, now found her way back on the coast. Campbell back in the side this week, and she's kicked it long to the wing. Keeney just gets boosted ball. Anderson throws herself into the contest to Dawes. Her handball will be intercepted by Bella, who's stripped of it by Bates. That'll be a free kick going to the prolific Lion. He's in fantastic form in season 2022. Just chips it towards centre-half forward. It's off hands. Conway comes through, just kicks it off the deck. It's going to roll towards the goal line. Taylor Smith is in there. She can get boot to ball. It's kicked Brisbane second.
That's exactly what we spoke about when they got their first goal. So scrappy through the middle of the ground, but keep it nice and skinny and your forwards nice and straight. So you'll see when they go inside 50 here, they've got all the space. So you can go lateral, and you can see here from a forward pressure, 3-on-1 and off the ground. Great goal, the second for the Lions. But one thing the Gold Coast have got to be, they've just got to leave a little bit of bumper bars, stop that momentum when they're keeping themselves so straight with their game plan.
Taylor Smith was picked up in a trade by Brisbane at the start of 2021. She played one game for Gold Coast in 2022, played all 11 games for Brisbane last year, now finds herself a premiership player. So she'll love getting a goal against her old side.
Having a breather. This will be a fascinating matchup in the ruck. It's Bella and Hickey, the two number 2s, both Queensland products. Ellinger, tackled by Yorston.
It's one thing Brisbane can do really well. We know they can go coast to coast, so if it's a defensive transition, they are so fast with their ball movement, and like I said, they're nice and direct too, so they're not going to take the switch in the space. They'll back themselves in to go nice and direct.
Look at the leap on Hickey in the ruck. Very much looking forward to that duel. Suns go forward. Conan. Kick ricochets. Well played by Sermon. Her kick ricochets as well, and now Dawes delivering beautifully. Mark dropped by Bodie. Good recovery. That's a wonderful second effort. Turn, spins, kicks to a one-on-one. Yashida Martin has given away the free kick.
What was that?
No, she hasn't given it away.
No, I don't know what that was for.
So maybe the push there, but Yashida Martin, second game, kicked a goal on debut last week. Here go the Lions again, and this is dangerous because Ruby Spark has got speed. She lines them up. She goes for goal. Great tackle, Ali Drennan. Let's get down on the boundary to Mitch Robinson. Robbo.
Yes, it does look like the ball's a bit slippery at the moment. As I mentioned before, the dew does come out and it feels like wet weather footy. So it goes to show the team gets on top first, get the ball going forward and try and lock it in. Usually gets a score on the board. So a little bit of experience there from playing a couple of quick clashes down here at sunny night time.
Yeah, spot on, Mitch. And that ability, like they're just playing that surge mentality. They're just trying to keep it nice and straight, get the weight of numbers. But certainly on top here, big time, Brisbane.
So Grider against Groves Little in the middle. Yorston picks it up. Kick it towards half forward. Campbell and Dupay in a one-on-one. Campbell gets there first, has a fumble, tries to tap it to advantage, but Yorston is there. She gets it back, Campbell, and then just thumps it on the boot. It's a long one down the wing, and it falls into the lap of Jessie Wardlaw.
Well, last time Jessie played, 4 goals, 11 disposals, 6 marks, so she started this one very nicely.
She's kicked in the Farquharson direction, almost shoved out of it. Ball goes to ground. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Gold Coast Suns. Dee Heslop was caught high.
So they've got all the run, the Brisbane Lions. Suns just struggling to keep up with that speed and pace at the moment. And that's a nice mark taken by the Suns ruck in Lauren Bella.
It might pay to just hold a little bit of possession because it's been a fast quarter. Just try and slow it down, get your territory, get inside 50, because as I said, their forward pressure in the Gold Coast is first class.
Slapped the way of the Lions. Here's Kathy Spark. Just like her younger sister, she's got speed. She's an excitement machine. And what about her delivery is spot on. Fantastic. Zimmy Farquharson. She's got all the talent in the world, this youngster. Look at this, just backs herself, Kathy Spark. She's so exciting to watch. And the Lions are on.
And what a kick, just to the space. So Zimmy was obviously at the back and judged it perfectly, the drop of the ball, but we take it back to her first game against Carlton. I remember Daniel Harford said, if that's an entree for her talent, wowee, this is going to be a banquet her career.
3 goals, 3 in her first 3 games. To give them the third on the board, the first 3, it's not to be. Farquharson just a little offline.
But the beauty about her strength is you can just see her aerial prowess there to mark the ball. If it hits the ground, you're going to get exactly the same talent.
This is dangerous on the kick in. Ola O'Dwyer has wrapped the Suns up. Let's get back down to Robbo.
Yeah, you'd think You think that the Lions will show a bit of fatigue at the moment, but they come out, they're firing, they look very fresh and ready to go. They only had one training during the week, which is last night, a captain's run, so they look like they're no fatigue at all, and they're running on top of the ground really well.
They certainly look hungry. Miss O'Dwyer, she's going absolutely nowhere. And just on Farquharson, Dicko, she got drafted the Brisbane Lions' first pick, number 8 in 2020. Didn't play last year in their premiership year. Has had to really earn her opportunity, and she's certainly looking like a presence up forward as Bates extracts it, gives it to Dawes. Beautiful kick to find Lulu, pull up.
She's got the potential to be a really good hybrid forward.
And they're going in the Farquharson direction again. Kick out a little bit too much on it. Keeney at ground level. Yoshida Martin's there to provide the pressure. It spills to Wardlaw. She gets free. Bates hands it to O'Dwyer. The left foot snap around the body. Brilliant.
Well, that's just... The 3 goals have come from, obviously, their opportunities up and their pressure up forward. You can see there, Farquharson, quick hands out. This is sensational finish. You just see O'Dwyer. As soon as it left the boot, that was going through. And as Mitch said, only trained, had a little captain's run. They're fresh. Used to be a good theory, that one, Cal. Once a week. Oh, I wanted that for 10 years. Train once a week and then just play.
Would have been a better player, you reckon?
Oh, I think so.
Would have played 400, not 200.
I was burnt out before I got to the game. But they've started extremely well.
I want to pick your brain, Kel. Ola O'Dwyer, I think she's in sensational form. You're on the All-Australian committee. Is she a chance this year?
Oh, she'd have to be in the mix. I think the Brisbane Lions were a little dirty last year because just the one player made the All-Australian in Kate Lutkins. It was her 3rd time. And, of course, they went on to win the flag. So O'Dwyer and Grider and Conan and Bodie and, of course, Bates all in the mix. Putting me under the pump already, Jess. Here go the Lions. Right in against the boundary line. Can Conway keep it in? She's got speed as well. And she's just as exciting as Kathy Spark on the outside of the boot. A wobbler, a tumbler, Farquharson, and so to Yoshida Martin. Look at the pressure. They're hungry.
And that just makes all the world of difference. Sets it up.
Sets it up beautifully. And it's Courtney Hodder that takes the mark. Her kick's really going to make O'Dwyer have to work for it. This is Bess Keeney. Again, that pressure, there's a push. That's a push against Lulu Puller. And it'll be a free kick to Servant, who's come a long way up the ground just to try and help out the more experienced Gold Coast Suns player.
This is where they've struggled a little bit. So they've had possession through the middle of the ground, but it's that inside 50. The next one.
Row bottom, and you can see they're almost right on cue. She's turned it over indoors. It's chopped off that kick.
And you know when a player looks up the field and there's nothing, means there's really good defence. So they're obviously got an accountable with the numbers.
And Bodie is off. She had no room to move. Gives it back to Ali Anderson, who kicks it inside 50. Again, no one home for Brisbane, and Viv Sard takes the defensive mark. Can they make something happen, Gold Coast? They've been stunned early by Brisbane. As Taylor Smith gets her hands on it. Under pressure with the kick. High up and under. O'Dwyer has to work. Hodder's in there. How did she get that?
Stole the lunch.
Now it's off to Bodie. Again, she just evades a couple of would-be tacklers, but not the 3rd attempt.
You just see here, this is where, like we've spoken about it before, so impact or locate. Brisbane, very, very good. Are they going to impact the contest? If not, you're going to locate an opponent.
Great tackle by Daisy Darcy. Gives it off to Bohanna. And bounces off the chest of Stanton. So nothing's going right. This is a team. Have a look at this. This is terrific from Daisy Darcy. And this, Dicko, is really what they've been able to set this new style around. The pressure, the tackling, the pressure, the tackling.
Well, it's just that little effort and, you know, the 1%ers, if you can actually nail that tackle and stop that, it's a domino effect. So down the field, you don't defend as high, you can be more proactive, and the midfielders can actually get a breather. So
Hickey to Anderson. Bodie was lurking. Yoshida Martin holds it up. She's got to beat a couple. Tackles Heslop. Back to Howarth, that new position across half-back this year. And it was a well-weighted kick. And off goes the Suns player in Whitford. Inside 50, bouncing ball by Hannah. She's had the magical touch. This is where Sermon likes it at ground level. Great little tap in there by Conway, then goes back, wins it. Handballs backwards. Oh, that's a great smother by Sermon. She plays desperate football, and now a loose ball. Swooping on it go the Brisbane Lions.
It's Tahoe who kicks long down the wing to Farquharson, who's marked it on the logo. Kicks long again. No one home, though, for Brisbane, and the Gold Coast defence will mop this up. And it's Howarth, a long way from home. She finds an outlet in Stanton. There's a player out wide in Keeney, who has room to move and can take a bounce. Kicks it in the Sermon direction, just wheels around, chips it inside 50. Perkins on the lead. She gets a second bite at it, gets boot to ball, and Keeney's kept running. She's got 3 Lions around her, and they'll mop it up through Hickey and Bates, who combine. And Bates will just tumble it towards the wing. Stanton and Ahrens there for Gold Coast. Stanton can kick it back towards half forward. Conan in best position, couldn't complete the mark. Bates again. Can send it back to where it came. Again, it's all Gold Coast, and Howarth takes the mark.
So they can't stick their tackles, the Gold Coast Suns. I'll get you, Dicko, to have a look at that tackle count, because the Suns are averaging the most tackles in the comp this year. I reckon the Lions have probably laid more tackles than them this quarter.
They have, 18 to 14, but it's noticeable, Cal, you're spot on, in terms of sticking the tackles and then getting your opportunities of possession.
And look at their disposal. I knew as soon as I said that had happened. Monahan. Just around her Gold Coast Sun opponent with ease, but the kick goes straight down the throat of Sard. So their efficiency with the ball, the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, it's extremely good, and the last 2 entries, they just haven't had their forwards reset. They've been very proactive, moving up the ground, obviously help the ball movement, but you've got to be able to get back and reset.
Time here for a late goal, just to give them something, because they've been completely outworked in this first quarter. Conway goes long, Bodie's there, can't keep it in play.
But the most positive bit of play from Gold Coast was when they marked and played on. They wheeled around and got the ball moving. As soon as they stop and pull back off the mark, that's when they find themselves in trouble with their ball movement.
Bella in front position. Stanton's there. Usually racks up plenty of the footy. And that is a great matchup. Bates and Stanton. We flagged it before the bounce. Rising high, he. O'Dwyer goes without it. Kathy Spark putting the pressure on Rowbottom. Anderson, Hickey, Rowbottom again. Charlie Rowbottom. Can't get too far at all as Conway gives it off to Anderson, usually a beautiful user, and not on this occasion. Howarth takes the defensive mark as the siren sounds, and Kalinda Howarth, who helped design the Indigenous Guernsey for the Gold Coast Suns, takes a very big sigh, as well as all of the Gold Coast
in recent weeks. So, but they can't let this game get away from them, because Brisbane, if that first quarter is any indication, they've certainly come to play tonight. Cal.
Was it the last quarter against West Coast, and it was about 3 or 4 goals in the last 7 minutes.
Certainly was. So, second quarter underway here at Metricon Stadium, and already O'Dwyer laying a good tackle against Whitford.
How good is O'Dwyer? Down back, up forward, through the mid-ground.
She's only in her 3rd season of AFLW footy, and she has elite running capabilities, and one day she's going to tear a game apart. So she's already got a goal on the board this evening, and plenty to like about all of O'Dwyer's season as Brisbane go forward once again. Anderson's dispossessed. Stanton just rushes a kick forward. Now it's a foot race. Plenty of numbers around this. Monahan did well. The umpires found a free kick. It's holding against the Suns. Go the way of Monahan.
Tara by Hannah. Hasn't been down her way so far tonight. Setting herself was Bella. Slipped through her hands. Stanton tries to control the Sherrin in these slippery conditions. It's picked up by Bates. Hacks the kick. Smith dropped it. Caught was Dawes. Did well just to flick it out to Anderson directly in front. Swivel of the hips. Snaps a goal.
We've seen that on a couple of occasions, you can just see when it goes forward, you're still going to locate a player. So we've had a couple. O'Dwyer in the first quarter snapped a goal from the pocket, and then you can see, obviously, Anderson in that instance as well. You can just see how many Brisbane Lion players right there are queuing up behind the ball, waiting for the handball out to make the most of their opportunity. So got to tighten up a little bit with their defence. Gold Coast a bit slack on that occasion. How
good and clever was that kick? She was on her back at Dawes. Just the toe poke straight out to Ali Anderson. She's having a good game, Isabel Dawes. The 8 disposals, a goal and a goal assist with that toe poke.
Hampson, the Rising Star nominee, just trying to bustle her way through. Spark overruns it, Conway goes in. Whitford lays a tackle. Didn't dispose of it correctly, did Conway. Gold Coast have got a free kick.
All right, a long kick here is going to land shallow inside 50, so probably find a free player and get some space in their forward line.
So Whitford tries to do that, goes in the Ali Drennan direction, has Conan for company. Drennan, I was about to say, did well to keep it in, but unfortunately went over the boundary line.
I don't mind that play. They get another opportunity. They halve the contest. An easy would have been bomb it in, Brisbane market and transition the ball. So
Bella to no advantage. Spark got no pressure whatsoever. She's on a Sunday afternoon stroll through the corridor. Couple of bounces, sends it forward. Playing in front, Saab. Smith called out of position. So can they set something here?
But look at this. She's trying to find their targets and they're trying to play the kicking game.
Saab to Dunn to Watson. Out wide is Whitford. They're going the long way there. They've been stripped of all confidence, flying by Hannah. Couldn't pull down their mark. The captain, Conan. Ryder involved. Here's O'Dwyer. Through the centre they go. Hodder can't control it on the bounce. She's calling for it. Bodie wheels around in the centre of the ground. Up to Dawes. Dawes has got to beat Watson. Oh, clever handball. Off to Conway. Has she got 50 in her boot? Conway goes right to the edge of the goal square, and Wardler couldn't quite clunk it in those long, lean, outstretched arms.
Once again, prime example, mark, bang, handball receive, straight inside 50. Cal, I was with you on that one. I'm thinking a 50-metre bomb.
Yeah.
Here we go. Look at that, 21-9 in favour of Brisbane now.
Oh no, Gold Coast might have messed this up coming out of the goal square. O'Dwyer gives it to Hodder. What can she do from the pocket? Oh, kick smothered off the boot. Great defensive work by Howard, but it's ended up to Greta Bodie. Just kicked the fat side of the footy. Goes across the face and out of bounds on the full. And keep an eye on Kalinda Howard. Just smothered that kick a few moments ago and looked a little bit sore.
Yeah, she had a taped shoulder, so sometimes you can get the stinger,
well,
they call it.
Yeah, did miss last week with a shoulder injury as well, so.
Oh, it's all Brisbane here. Anderson thought about playing on, and very experienced player, Ali Anderson. She's playing her 47th game tonight, her and Bates. The race is on for 50 as they just share it around casually inside 50. That's good. There is Kalinda Howard. She's got that shoulder strap. She got the stinger, as Dicko told us. And now this is the risky kick. The two number 30s playing in front. Jessie Wardlaw gobbles it up.
Well, this is a soda for Jessie. We spoke last time, the Q clash, she kicked 4, but when you're going to switch the ball, don't kick it to someone who's got some aerial skill like that. So, easy mistake, don't make it 2.
So, Jessie Wardlaw, 2 goals, 6 coming in. Oh, Dicko, you declared it a soda.
Oh, absolute moral.
To make it a handful, the Brisbane Lions. I shouldn't laugh.
I just love doing it.
Oh, you do.
Break the mould.
Yeah, well, you're not a fan of the Brisbane Lions supporters out there at the moment. They're going to get a reprieve here because Smith gets a free kick. She's going to do it off a step as easy as she like. And Smith has her second.
Well, once again, just Brisbane's speed, their ability to put pressure. We know, obviously, the switch straight to it, Wardlaw, but the free kick close to goal. Those are the ones that hurt you, especially when Brisbane notch up their 5th goal. Don't have any answers at the moment, the Gold Coast.
Robbo might have some answers for them downstairs, Robbo.
Yeah, I did speak to Jessie Waller last night at training. She around the fact that Dakota Davidson not playing, what her role would be. She just wants to work on her pressure, and you can see the small forward doing a lot of work. And she knows that she's kicked 2 goals, 6, but she's not going to let that determine how good she plays tonight.
So Grider, lovely kick to find Greta Bodie at centre half forward, and she's off. Crosses 50, kicks a long one to the Smith direction. Good work by Viv Sard. Just pushed it over the line for a minor score.
I don't blame Smith there. She's eyeing 6 or 7 the way she's going at the moment. Obviously got her 2nd goal just before, but you can see they were isolating, having her one out there, just giving her every opportunity.
Brisbane look like they've been frustrated in recent weeks, having played in really windy conditions, haven't been able to get their game style, and they just look like they're just coming out here. And
oh, they've made a meal of this. Done the captain and Serene Watson. Just handball happy, over-possessing into Mines. And Watson holding the ball. It'll be a free kick to Bodie, who's a notable goal kicker.
I'm not saying anything, Kel.
No, don't. The Brisbane Lions fans don't want you to at all. She's kicked 5 goals from her 5 games this season. Greta Bodie on the approach hasn't got the distance. So they've been inaccurate. In fact, last week, Dicko, down at Sandringham against the Saints, they kicked the first 11 behinds before they got a major on the board. So goal kicking hasn't been their strength, but nearly got them into a pickle last week. They just fell over the line against the Saints.
When you have 17 inside 50s to 8, you can afford to miss a few, Cal, and you're dominating timing forward half. So not sure the Gold Coast have got any answers right here at the moment. I haven't seen a change in the style. They're happy to still take the chip in charge.
Row bottom. It's down the line to Bohanna. It's off hands out the back, Grider. It's around Perkins. Short kick. I don't think that's 15 or just 15. Bates is marked right inside the boundary. Goes to Conway. She was dealt with as she tried to mark. Got a free kick. So you can see the numbers up ahead in Brisbane's forward 50. Conway. Kick it to a dangerous position out the back. Wardlaw. She can't get through the Suns' defence. Got a 50-50 ball in front of goal. That time in forward half, 2nd quarter, 80% to Brisbane. And they're pressing again. Svark around the corner. It's a high up and under kick. Falls to Smith. Intelligently taps it to Ellinger, who's got Ruby Svark in space. Right foot step around the corner, back to Smith. It falls to Kathy Svark, who evades a couple, throws it on the boot. Goes through for a behind.
They're all lining up at the moment.
So Svark is playing a defensive role, Dicko, looks like, in the middle, and a couple of different Suns players at the stoppages, and yet when they go into attack, no one is going with her whatsoever. Kathy Svark is just having a field day out there. So Watson to Howarth, and now Hannah Dunn. The skipper makes life a little difficult for Rowbottom. Off to Ahrens. And just that hurried panic kick. Shannon Campbell, good to see her back in the team tonight. Here's a chance for Grider. The easy step around. Gee, they look flat, the Gold Coast Suns. Spoil from Howarth from behind was good. And now down to Ellie Hampson. Going back, Sermon, that was brave. Perkins gets a handball over. Caught, was Drennan, it'll come back. And bravery shown by Kate Sermon.
Great courage. Eyes on the ball the whole way.
She knew it was coming. So Sarah Perkins could load up. Instead, she goes in the Bohanna direction, who receives a push in the back, and she'll get a free kick. And it was play on advantage, and the umpire is going to say you missed. You played on, and you missed. Now, I was looking at Bohanna then, and Stanton has run into an open goal. Let's watch this again. There's the push. Campbell into the back. Stanton made the decision, goodness me, to play on. That is, well, that sums up their night. Here they go again. Sermon, Bohanna this time caught behind. And again, this is Tahoe just bombs it out of the dangerous territory, Jess.
Dawes gives it to Kathy Spark again, just puts on the jets and runs through the middle of Metricon Stadium. The bounce doesn't come back to her. She has enough time to get around, is stripped of it, holding the ball.
You know the Gold Coast are flat when she can have a bounce and then doesn't obviously bounce back, has time to stop, prop, turn around. They are fatigued at the moment, the Gold Coast.
Yes.
Another tackle for Ali Drennan.
You can see just the work Brisbane do on the mark. So try and force you back. That's the first handball received this quarter from the Gold Coast.
So Hammond up towards half forward. Sermon at ground level gives it to Bohanna, who just tumbles a kick inside 50. Campbell will be first to get there for Brisbane. Tahoe lays the shepherd. Beautiful kick. Finds Ellinger. So Ellinger, kick had too much in it. Might still work out for Brisbane as Ruby Spark this time turns on a dime, wheels around and kicks to space. Yoshida Martin and Sard in a foot race. Sard will get there first. She's under pressure. Good handball to Howarth. Gets around one. Gets around Wardlaw. Kicks into the corridor. Might be chopped off. Hampson good enough to gather. Tries to handball to Dunn, but Hodder emerges with it. Quick to throw it on the boot inside 50. Again, no one home for Brisbane, and Sard has the footy.
How good was the use of the body from Hodder then? Just wanted that ball a bit more.
So did O'Dwyer, was in the better position. All O'Dwyer just chopping off everything defensively. She's from Tipperary. She sends it to the square. And a little lucky there for the Gold Coast Suns. Unable to take the mark, Yoshida Martin. So explain this for me, Dicko. It's the Lions that are coming off a 4-day break, that flight down to Melbourne to play the Saints it was, and they just fell over the line. They're the ones that have come out fresh here, and it was the Gold Coast Suns that beat Geelong. It was 6 days ago on last Friday night. And they've got to turn around and play the Dogs, the Suns, on Tuesday night. So if they look flat and fatigued now, what are they going to look like on Tuesday night?
Exactly right. And I think Mitch touched on it, just a little freshen up for the Brisbane Lions, a little captain's run. Sometimes it can be the best recipe. You see Perkins just down on the ground at the moment. The Gold Coast, you're right, Cal, if they're flat now, they're going to be a pancake in their next game.
Here's the incident. It's not often that Perko bounces off a player. Usually she's crunching them.
She was getting the tomahawk on top of the head there with the attempted handball.
Well, Grider just didn't move. It was like a brick wall, and Perkins bounced off her. Here's the excitement machine. Yoshida Martin wheels around and kicks Wardlaw. And she's been crunched as well. Surely taken high, umpire.
I just love the fact that every time you can see here, got good purchase on it. Oh, almost. But when it's in her vicinity, she doesn't waste an opportunity.
This might have gone up a notch here. Let's keep an eye on the play. Dawes, Hodder. Still they go. Ellinger ducks out of a tackle, wheels around, gives it to Hickey the ruck. The long bomb. Where is she? She flies out, does Jessie Wardlaw. At the crumb, Hodder picks it up. Hodder goes for goal. Hodder's offline across the face.
Just sharp. Everything they're doing, one touch, clean. As you see, the Gold Coast, this is what will be frustrating. They're finding their way out of defence, yet look at the numbers here for Brisbane Lions. They're just running on top of the ground.
They are, aren't they? They're just supremely fit.
Covering the ground really well. As Bates can send it inside 50 once again. Farquharson on the lead. Kick went over her head. Hampson at the fall. Hodder applying the pressure. Drennan now gets around Dawes. Looking for Hammond, but they turned it over again. O'Dwyer kicks it to a 2-on-1 at the back. Wardlaw. That kick just had the perfect elevation to get over the back, and Wardlaw back with the flight of the ball. Says thank you very much.
2 goals, 7 for the season. Ben Dixon, keep your mouth shut.
So
Yes, I was going to jump in. That one's the soda we were talking about with Wardlaw. But I just love the fact that she puts herself in everything like I mentioned. She's got that ability to make something out of nothing. She's been the focus up forward. Any long bombs come in, she has been at the drop of the ball. And she's pushed back here, worked extremely hard. She's been 2-on-1 for the last 5 minutes and finds a way to make it a mark, goal, and a Brisbane 6 goal for the night.
So Jessie Wardlaw, last time they met, there's her numbers. She kicked the 4 goals when they beat them by 63 points. The Suns went goalless in that game. There's an eerie, haunting feeling about this contest. Suns win it. Out of the centre. Whitford with the bomb at the drop. Campbell to Conway. To Monaghan, flicks it back to Sophie Conway. Look at the space they've got. Time to look up, assess the options, and that's chopped off down there by Jackie Yorston. Half-time couldn't come quick enough for the Gold Coast Suns. That is a half that they will not want to remember in a hurry, because the Brisbane Lions, the reigning champs, have had too much firepower in the opening half here at Carrara. 6-8-44. To
the Brisbane Lions.
So after that 30-point loss to Adelaide in round 1, Brisbane had a COVID scare in the early rounds and have now won 4 in a row and on their way to it. 5 wins in a row if they can keep going in this second half. But it's Gold Coast to win the first clearance through Stanton, only as far as Ellinger. Now Ali Anderson just fends off Howarth and kicks it to the wing, out in front Dawes. Couldn't complete the mark. Hammond at ground level for the Suns. Just pops a kick up. Went through the hands of Ellinger. Rowbottom's in there. Wrapped up by Ellinger. Umpire says holding the ball.
And you can just see the speed on spread there. So we know Brisbane have looked like they're running on top of the ground, but just got to force some turnovers. Here's one.
We'll turn that one over to Drennan, who was stripped of it by Spark. Ends up with Ellinger, who kicks it towards half forward, out the back. Hotto overran it. Dawes picked it up, gives it back to Hotto, inside 50. Now back to Dawes. You can kick it towards a dangerous position. Taylor Smith used the body well, runs into an open goal, and this is an onslaught.
Well, you can see Smith notches up her 3rd goal, but once again, and Mitch Robertson just touched on it. Surge footy, get the numbers, move it as fast as you possibly can in these conditions and make your own luck. You can see here, Dawes, you get it nice and deep entry, you're going to have every opportunity. Smith, great use of the body, protected the drop zone and gets her 3rd. So sensational start to the second half, but not a sensational start for Gold Coast. They are seriously on the ropes.
So this is the second time that Taylor Smith has kicked 3 goals in her career. She's never kicked 4. Just getting the record books out, Jess, what you were calling. The highest ever AFLW score was Carlton at this ground. So 13.987 they kicked. That is the highest ever AFLW score in 5 and a bit years.
And Brisbane are well on track here to break their highest score ever in the competition. 10.565 is Brisbane's highest ever score. Their greatest ever winning margin is 63 points. So you're right, Kel, records might fall here at Metricon Stadium.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on them. They might tumble. Bates's kick a little offline. Bella did well. That was desperate. Gets down low for a taller player. Stanton with a late tackle, and it affects the kick. Bodie reads it beautifully. Played, or maybe should have got the free. The umpire put the whistle away. Drennan with a high ball, and camped at the drop is Conway.
Won't put you on the spot, but Smith with 3 goals. I think she's got 7 in it tonight. What's the record on the most goals scored?
The most goals is Brooke Lachlan.
Yeah, it was 7.
And it was 7 at Whitten Oval. You trying to get Jess and I to compete against each other here, Ben?
Yes.
Turn us against each other. Hotter's got a free kick. Sophie Conway we saw then, who set this up as well. She's had more metres gained in that first half than she had all year, 312 metres. So the number 12 for the Brisbane Lions running hot. Courtney Hodder, she kicked some jaw-dropping goals in the grand final. She'd need to thread it from here, but she can't.
Such a live wire, though, Hodder. Like, when the ball hits the ground, she's extremely clean. She's powerful. You can see there, strong legs, drives out of a contest, rarely goes to ground. So she's certainly a player.
Dunn. Kicks out, kicks long. Now Sard under pressure with the kick. Campbell at ground level. Drennan, Stanton. She's wrapped up immediately by Svark. The umpire says, I'll have it.
That just sums up the night. You can just see there, as soon as Gold Coast, they were straight around, 3 tackling 1. Like, they're just outnumbering the numerical advantage at any contest, heavily in favour in Brisbane.
Ellie Anderson can lay claim for a push in the back, but umpire says no. Drennan and Stanton, 10 disposals each for them tonight. Conway and Dawes leading the way for Brisbane with 13 each. As Drennan goes in again. Again, 2 Brisbane Lions tackle her to ground in Anderson and Svark. That tackle count, 37-33 in favour of the Brisbane Lions. Hickey wins that head out against Bella. Falls to Anderson. She can look inside 50. What a pass to Wardlaw. Wants to give it off. Kicks it into the corridor. Conway couldn't complete the mark, fisted away by her. Hodder, nice vision to find Anderson, who just gets around Hampson. Has a look at goal.
Oh.
Hits the post.
Just see the level of skill. Wardlaw was lace out. And then you could just see, oh, that deserved a goal, that bit of play.
But, I mean, I guess, Ben, this is the difference between a team playing at 6 here in the competition, and again, the Brisbane Lions are pressuring here. Drennan just making sure the umpire can see she is trying to get rid of it. This is what the Gold Coast Suns could be in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, which is huge. And you mentioned straight off the top, Cal, Queensland footy's in great shape. You know, we can see Brisbane now, who are 4th on the ladder, Gold Coast 7th, but certainly got some huge upside in the early stages there, AFLW.
Perkins has gone down back, gets a touch and pretty much kicks it to her direct opponent in Conan, who's stripped of the ball. Great tackle. Now, can they make something of this? Groves Little, not an effective kick. It came under pressure. Stripped of it was Bates. Don't say that too often. And a scrimmage in the centre of the ground, more so on the outer wing.
Ben, you mentioned earlier about the shape that women's footy is in. It was great to see the news last week that for the first time in history, a North Queensland, South Queensland women's footy representative game will be played this year in July. It's been a fixture on the men's football calendar in Queensland for 8 years. And first time this year we're going to get a women's game played between North Queensland and South Queensland. So that's really great to see. There's 6 regional competitions in Queensland, 6 in Southeast Queensland. So female footy is absolutely booming in Queensland at the moment.
That, in rugby league terms, is the crusher tackle. So just a squeeze on the back of the neck there. But
yeah, that was dangerous, wasn't it? Stanton on Bates. They'll have a look at that. And here they go again. Ryder out into space. Who's there? Smith. She's already kicked 3. She's taken high by Sard, who can't believe it. And Smith, we think, would probably be too far out the score. Now, she's only ever scored in 4 games. So she's kicked 3 before. 3 tonight, 1 and 1. When she has a purple patch, she has a purple patch. And so too does Wardlaw. Smith and Wardlaw, the key forwards, are just tearing the Suns apart at the moment.
And yeah, and when you look at it like that, Dakota Davidson's not in the team, and you go, right, she's going to play a big role here, but Smith and Wardlaw.
So Wardlaw lines it up and pushes it across the face. So the Suns are yet to take a mark inside 50 for the game, Ben.
Yeah, which...
And last year, the Suns, against the Suns, Brisbane took a record 22 marks inside 50 for the game, and they've taken 9 so far tonight, so...
Yeah, it just gets back to the way they move the ball. If you move the ball fast, your forwards have isolation and a chance to mark the ball, so... It can tell you a story, and the story tonight is they have no room anywhere to go, Gold Coast. So Brisbane are just dominating every aspect. You can see here just the pressure. And once again, they're going to go back inside 50.
Groves Little holding the ball against them just there. Only had the 1 disposal. It's gone back inside 50 for Brisbane Lions. Wardlaw's in there again. Almost a throw, I think it was. And advantage is paid, so Drennan runs away with it. Kicks Gold Coast into the centre of the ground. How's the body work from Nat Grider against Stanton? Monahan wants to find a target in Anderson at ground level doors, gives it to Grider. She has a fumble. Whitford, oh, she's coughed it up to Bodie. That kick's not a great one off the boot. Hard one to mark. Dupay comes in, 1 bite, 2 bite. She's played on though. Probably didn't realise she actually had taken the mark.
So she was paid the mark and then played on.
Went to spoil, then took the mark.
Goes, I've got to move it quick. Let's go.
Asking the question. Jackie Dupay, only early stages of her career. Here she is in the ruck. Rubbers the kick. Groves Little couldn't quite keep it in play, so it's gone over the boundary line down there where fans are enjoying it in the front row, and Mitch Robinson's enjoying it as our boundary rider down there as well, Robbo.
Yeah, we just see that the Gold Coast Suns are trying to stem the bleeding by getting numbers in the back line, but bringing the ball back out, they've got to find that chip mark, uncontested footy, because they're kicking straight back to Brisbane's spares back there. So every stoppage they get, they've got numbers dropping off, which is playing into their hands.
Good point as it comes back inside 50. Top of the goal square. It should sit here for Conway. If Conway doesn't get it, Yoshida Martin might. Getting her is Heslop. That's a fierce tackle. And well done. Heslop, tackle machine. Oh, this is too easy. It's come out to Ruby Spark. Kick was smothered. Ruby goes and gets it again. Was she taken high? The umpire said no. Favours Ellie Hampson in that call. Wardlaw, Anderson tries to get around 1. She couldn't get around 2, but she was crunched, and Wick will get the free kick. And Ellie Anderson, who's already kicked 1 tonight. In fact, it was Ellinger, rather, that wins the free.
Just desperation. You can just see the want in terms of...
Did Jade Ellinger just try and pinch that off her teammate, Ellie Anderson?
I think she might have.
Because it was Anderson that got absolutely crunched by Hampson. Ellie Anderson tries to get around the player on the mark, doesn't come off, but everything they do at the moment is coming off, and Courtney Hodder's on the end of it. She's been sniffing around for a goal all night, Dicko. She's gone close a few times, and now directly in front. Courtney Hodder, an electrifying player, but she can do the regulation as well. And yet another individual goal kicker for the Brisbane Lions. That's their 6th individual goal kicker for the evening. And this margin is just blowing out now. It's 57 points, the difference. It's turning into a very ugly night for the Gold Coast Suns.
I've just got the eye on the 87 points that Carlton have on the board, because the way they're running this game out, Brisbane, there's a lot of the goals. How cute is that? That's why we love this game. You follow the team, your favourite team, and then you get to play for them. That's so special.
It
but
is.
She's been enormous tonight. Like I said, she's so dangerous inside 50, and she's got the reward.
Bates from the middle. Just almost too easy. Just gets around that tackle. Kicks it to the Bodie direction at ground level. Hickey. Hodder again inside 50. Now to Bodie. Has a bit of space. To Farquharson. Over the boundary.
Well, the Gold Coast defence have certainly got their overalls and hat on tonight. They are doing all the work here. So getting back to what Mitch said just about how they're going to transition out of this, they do need to just get a little bit of composure to start this chain.
So Hickey palms it down to Yorston. Dispossessed by Hodder. It spills to O'Dwyer. Kicks a high one towards the goal square at the back. Yoshida Martin. Made her AFLW debut last week against St Kilda and kicked Brisbane's first goal of the game that didn't come until the 3rd quarter. Certainly a different story in her 2nd AFLW game. They picked number 53 in last year's draft. Has natural footy IQ. This occasion hits the post.
Yashona Martin's been one of those 1%ers all night, so she'll get her opportunity to hit the scoreboard. But she's been pressuring. She's had the tackles. She's only had the 4 disposals, but her pressure rating would be through the roof as a small forward.
Unrelenting pressure right across the ground. And they just want to put the foot down in this final term. Maybe they've got a few records in their sights. Wardlaw had the Sherrin in her sights then. Dawes, Conway, fumbles. And number 1 there is Ellie Hansen applying the tackle for the Gold Coast Suns. She was a Rising Star nominee last week, 16 disposals, 6 tackles, 6 clearances. One of 2 Rising Star nominees for the Suns. Just a reflection of how positive their season's been so far, as well as Charlie Rowbottom. But it's all come to a crashing halt here this evening on their home ground at the hands of their rivals, the Brisbane Lions. Spinning out of trouble was Sermon. Off to Stanton. Can do nothing cleanly here at all. Howarth just toe pokes it, but it's all Brisbane. Look at the pick up there by Campbell was fantastic. Kicks to a contest. Bella just taps it down. Kathy Spark breaks tacklers. Left, right. She's got them all covered. The give and go. She's going to get it back. Sister Ruby gave it off to her, and the sisters combined for almost one of the goals of the season. Kathy Spark, can anyone catch her?
No. And if they can, she busts the tackle.
She is slippery.
What a player. That deserved a goal. I don't say that often, but that was sensational play.
She's unlocked the next level, I think, in her performances as Kathy Spark. Bates, short one to Anderson, not 15, but she dropped the mark anyway. To go in and apply the pressure. Drennan comes in. Rowbottom. She can't get past Kathy Spark and Isabel Dawes.
Just that relentless pressure, 2-on-1. So normally you hit the handballer and the receiver, but the Lions are just, like I've said all night, just outnumbering them at the contest, the spread, running on top of the ground.
So free kick going the way of the Gold Coast Suns. Jamie Stanton. He's tried hard tonight. 11 disposals, 5 tackles, and a couple of behinds. Kicks up towards the wing. It's going to be cut off though. Dawes in a 1-2. Kicks towards half forward. Watson's there for the Suns. So is Hodder. Just that speed to burst away. Kicks out wide to Conway. She's dragged down. Hodder's still alive inside 50. Kicks it towards herself, plays for the free kick, dives on top of it. Still going is Courtney Hodder. Gives it out to Ruby Spark, who kicks it into the pocket. Playing in front is Hannah Dunn.
Hodder's just, she's closing in on that goal of the year, isn't she? She's got the dinks, the flicks, the toe pokes, all the tricks.
Got it, all the tricks.
Yep,
exactly.
she's got all the tricks. And the siren sounds, 3/4 time here. And the Brisbane Lions might just have the biggest ever AFLW score in their sights. It stands at 87 with a quarter to play. Responds is one of the youngsters in Daisy Darcy with that matchup against Greta Bodie. Brisbane Lions have been able to leapfrog North Melbourne already.
13% in a quarter.
So they still might get Melbourne on up to third. Jess, take it away.
So a big last quarter to come. If you're a fan of breaking records, is O'Dwyer wins herself a free kick for holding the ball against Hampson, just dragged her down. Having another sensational game is Ola O'Dwyer. Kicks Brisbane into attack. Hodder had a bit of space and separation, but couldn't come onto it. Might still fall for her. Right foot stab. What a goal, Courtney Hodder!
Well, 16th disposal, another goal, and has been the biggest live wire in their forward half. You can just see here, bang, and look at the follow-up. This is how dangerous she is, so
Where'd
fast.
she come from?
That's the thing. Got front and square to her own ball, somehow. Showed speed, but she has been one of the best players on the ground, and celebrating it as you would too. because they know that I've sent the message down and 87's their target.
Well, that's one record already down. Brisbane have now kicked their highest ever score in the AFLW competition. 2 more records to go. In fact, I'm sorry, 2 records are down. They've now got their highest winning margin if it stays this way.
Yeah, they've got to keep it. And for AFLW fans out there to come Monday night, Brisbane and Melbourne. Bring that one on. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. If you like your footy, Ben Dixon, we got tomorrow night, it's Dogs and the Cats at Whitnove. We've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
How good's that?
So just sit back every night. We'll bring you all the action. It's hotting up as we turn for the second half of this season. And the Brisbane Lions are back, baby. They're enjoying themselves out there. Records galore, set to go. Hodder wants another. She's had a couple. Watson under the pump. Everything they've done tonight has just been pressure, pressure, pressure. And that'll be the lasso last touch roll. So Phoebe Monahan, who has gone from the Tigers and walked into a premiership winning team here. Looks like they will play finals and go deep yet again.
What about the leapfrog here now, Cal?
Oh, they've done it.
They've done it into third. This is like Daytona. They'll be first before we know it.
Well, they got Erin Phillips Crows in their sights. They had that shock loss to the Bulldogs last weekend. Here go the Lions again. They're lining up. Dawes. O'Dwyer. Here she comes. Hodder. Awkward one to trap. Couldn't trap it. Conway's there. Still she goes. Hodder off to Conway. Conway directly in front to get on the scoreboard as well. That's the 7th individual goal kicker for the Brisbane Lions.
Well, there you have it. That's the energy when you are 71 points up. And look at the energy around this ball, and when they score a goal, they are riding this wave tonight, or for short backup, as we've spoken about a number of times. But Sophie Conway on that occasion. Hodder once again, 17th disposal now. She's, I don't want to sway anyone on this one, clearly best on ground at this stage.
Oh, you keep changing it. You just said Hodder was a moment ago.
No, I said Hodder. That's what I was doing.
Oh,
she got that.
Said Conway.
No. I said Hodder up to her 17th disposal.
I thought you said so.
No, well, she set that goal up, so the goal assists. She's kicking goals. There's nothing she can't do.
Plenty of options. Conway, 16 disposals, 75% efficiency, 6 inside 50s and a goal. So unfortunately for Gold Coast, they're staring down their lowest ever AFLW score again. They might get one out of here though. Over the back, Dupay, Tori Groves Little, and finally the droughts broken for the Suns.
There you have it. The coach wanted the values and get back to what they know and their brand. Well, not sure where this has been all night, but a little bit of fast play, scrap, surge in the conditions, and all of a sudden you get your first goal of the night. 4 minutes into the last quarter.
And tonight, as we get a shot here, wearing boots designed by Mitch Robertson's partner, Emma McNeil. Beautiful Indigenous design there. If you haven't seen Emma McNeil's work, check her out on Instagram. She's a star. Let's head down to Mitch at ground level.
Very proud moment. I did talk to Tori before the game. She mentioned she had them on. They're a couple of years old now. She just dusts them out. Yep, she's pointing to them now. So a little shout out to Emma. She's done a great job. That's awesome to see.
That is awesome to see. Tori Groves Little. Brilliant. It's more than just footy, isn't it? That's fantastic. Hampson just pushed off it. Here's Ellie Anderson. Was Rowbottom rather. Rowbottom went back and tackled her and tackled again. Backed up with 2 tackles. Good to see by the top draft pick. And now over to Whitford. Can they get 2 in a row here? Salvage something from this wreck. They're playing for some respect. Stanton breaks the tackle. Oh, hits the post. And their coach told us, Cameron Joyce, at 3/4 times, just to respect in this final term, and this has been a better response from the Gold Coast Suns.
And you can just see fast play, handball receives, a little bit of surge mentality, and they've got some really good spread there, so they've got support with their runners. Keep that going for the last quarter and make it a respectable score.
So might come back in for the Suns. Groves Little at the front. Can't go with it. Drennan. Handball's over the top to Stanton, copped it high. So Stanton will line up for another go at it. As we just see the replay there, Ruby Spark. Just got a little too excited. So Jamie Stanton, 14 disposals tonight. He's kicked 3 behinds. All of the Suns' behinds. She would love a goal here. Lets it fly. Misses. 4 behinds for Jamie Stanton tonight.
Well, here's their opportunity. So they haven't had any opportunity to keep the time in forward half or lock this ball up. This is where you squeeze your midfields, get your forwards on the job, get yourself another scoring opportunity.
Bates just racking up the possessions. That's number 19 for her. She's had the most on the ground. Oh, and just dropping that at the last minute was Hickey. But she's got Grider for company. Grider to Monaghan, a little toe poke. Bates has got to get there. Tries to go the body on body with Rowbottom, and the teenager was up to the task. And now some tired bodies fall over the Sharon. Brennan's had the 14 disposals for the Gold Coast Suns. Only Stanton's had more with her 4 behinds. Whitford around the corner. Groves Little tried to use the body, but Grider, they're just so strong, these players. Strong in the core, powerful runners, and that's a Lasso. So it'll be free kick to Sard, will take it for the Gold Coast Suns. In this, she's kicked it straight into the player on the mark. Was that a Falcon? Kathy Spark. It's bounced off her face, I think, and she's just a little rattled.
I was actually just watching her. She was sort of half waving it away. There we go.
It's going to hurt.
Top of the right shoulder.
From close range too. Oof.
Spinning ball back in. Bates goes the tackle, goes twice. Rowbottom, high ball. Perkins was there. Well played in the end by Conan. Just hacks it. Here's a chance for Yoshida Martin. Loses it. Kathy Spark swoops. Umpire is going to spot a free kick here. And it's going to go to the Gold Coast Suns against the Gold Coast Suns. So Zimmy's got it. Gives it off to Taylor Smith. Just bombs Wardlaw. Potter. Tackle applied by Spark. Rowbottom. She's had a bit of it in this final term, but can't make good use of it. Ryder's just going to poke, looking for Zimmy, who flies. Here's O'Dwyer. Waller O'Dwyer. Kick was smothered. And it's just messy now, the football. Slippery conditions. Humid on the Gold Coast. Tired players, of course. Brisbane coming off the 4 days. That trip to Melbourne. And the Suns coming off a 6-day break. They've both got games early next week.
12 marks to 0 inside 50, the way the Brisbane Lions. It's been complete dominance from the word go. Dwyer turns tackler. Ball still alive, and she emerges with it, and now is wrapped up by Whitford. If you take a look at the recent history, a draw in the first ever Q clash, but it's been Brisbane ever since then. 2 big wins in this rivalry. So the umpire's found a free kick. It's going the way of Brisbane Lions, and it'll be Emily Bates, I think, will emerge with it.
Well, they've applied a lot more pressure, which has been promising. Cameron Joyce to be happy with, obviously, the pressure around the ball, which has resulted in some opportunities for the scoreboard.
Bates looking for a short option. Didn't quite have the carry to get to Wardlaw. Rowbottom is driven to the ground. Players dive on. So tackles inside 50 as well, 19-4. Some fantastic forward pressure by Brisbane this evening. Spills to Bates. Perkins now. Playing in defence, kicks a long one to the wing, but it's Tahoe for Brisbane. It's grabbed by Bohanna, and that'll be holding the ball. So well done, Tara Bohanna, just to apply the pressure, and she's quick to move it inside 50 for Gold Coast. It spills out the back, and there's a free kick going the way of Brisbane. And Puller will take it.
But just on that, Gold Coast now taking the game on in their centre forward and resulting in inside 50s and a little bit of scoreboard pressure. But where was that in the first 3 quarters? That's what I want to know. If that's their DNA and their brand, well, it was non-existent.
So Whitford pumps it back inside 50. Stanton against Puller. Brought to ground. Great handball, though, into the path of Howarth. We know she can do anything inside 50. Wheels around, the right foot snap. Last line of defence, Shannon Campbell. Has Conway short and goes to her.
This is what they do well, Jess. They can, a little bit of momentum Gold Coast way.
Oh, she's tried to take on Sarah Perkins. And you're a brave woman if you want to do that. And Sarah Perkins has won herself a free kick. What about this for a defensive effort from your key forward? You'd love to see it.
How good was that?
Gives her a bit of something as well, just to let her know. 4 disposals tonight. Hasn't made a big impact on the match, but we know she is a super kick of the football.
That's a beautiful.
And that's exactly why we love her. That's Sarah Perkins at her best.
How good was that? I mean, the tackle you just see here, didn't overcommit, just kept her feet nice and short and sharp so she could change direction. But look at this finish. What a kick. Just nice and smooth. Foot comes straight through at the line of the target and knew it was home, and celebrating that one. They've been few and far between. Not sure what that celebration is, but I'm sure we'll find out later.
And even though it hasn't been Gold Coast night, they have produced some really great football this season, and they'll pick themselves up after this and keep going with their season, because they're building something really special, particularly up forward with the combination of Perkins and Bohanna. They've got a lot of good stuff to work with, just hasn't been their night. It's from...
They've got the Dogs, don't they, on Tuesday night, the Gold Coast Suns. Is that in Queensland? Check that. I don't even know what day it is, Jess, with all these AFLW games.
Well, it's around 3.
It is
it's around 3 game that's now been pushed back. I lose track as well.
Yeah, it's Metricon, confirmation Metricon Tuesday night. So that should be a great clash as well. Dogs super excited. They've just injected some real excitement into the competition with their upset win over the Adelaide Crows last weekend. 4 minutes to go in this ball game. And these young Suns players still giving it everything. They hit a wall. They hit a wall tonight against the reigning premier. And look at the next 2 to come for Brisbane. Whatever you do Monday night, if you're an Aussie Rules fan, settle in for Melbourne and the Brisbane Lions to be played in Queensland. It's a Metricon game as well. That will be an absolute ripper. Some of the matchups in that one, Jess, will be a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely, cannot wait.
So this is Hickey. And she's put it out towards Smith, who ran and really leaped up at that one. Couldn't quite get it. Conway to the top of the goal square. Here goes Hodder. Oh, it's socked through by Zimmy. Hodder's got the tricks, but Zimmy says, hey, my bag of tricks is just as good as well.
I'll see yours and then I'll raise you one more. I love it. I love it. And you can just see, kicks it with the outside of the foot too, just bang. That's just smart. We spoke about how she's extremely competent, above the head marking ability, but what she can do at ground level is very special. We saw that in her debut game against Carlton. She was on fire.
I've got another record for you.
Oh, no, not another one.
The record of most individual goal kickers is 9. Brisbane have got 8 tonight. But the big one we're looking for, Jess, is number 87.
Yep.
87 or more. Can they get there with 3 minutes to play?
Well, Conan is sending them forward once again. Ali Anderson on the right boot. She's put it into the path of Conway. She has to get around Hammond. Copped one high. Umpire says play on. Hodder against Dupay. That's a clash of heads. Play on. Farquharson from the pocket. Goes across the face. Can Smith keep it in? No, she can't. And Hodder, yep.
Just the head straight into the back of the Gold Coast player. Just see she was flying into tackle, and you'll just see her head smack straight into the back of her head.
She just plays with no fear, doesn't she?
Yeah. And would be surprised if she has a broken nose off that one.
Your team's leading by 10 goals, and there's 2 minutes to play, and you're cracking in like that. Craig Starcevic knows how to motivate these players. What he's done with these Brisbane Lions players has been nothing short of extraordinary over the first 5 years. Played in the 2 losing grand finals, won one at Adelaide Oval last year. Ryder's one of the most improved for the Brisbane Lions. In fact, you could list them all. So impressive. And they'll have the Adelaide Crows and Melbourne shaking in their boots tonight.
Courtney Hodder is so tough. I think she'll be asking the trainers to go back out.
Yeah.
She's so competitive and so tough that she'll go, what's wrong?
She's got a rugby union background, hasn't she? So that's where it all started. So 88 to break it. We need 9 points in 2.5 minutes.
And they're...
Boundary throw in it is. Launching over the top, Smith. They're determined. O'Dwyer, Kathy Spark breaks out of the tackle, turns around, lines it up, and it's a goal! 8 individual goal kickers for the Brisbane Lions, and they've equalled the record.
It's not often you get 3 commentators off their chair chasing a record, but like she's shown on a number of occasions here, like just acceleration out. Catch me if you can, no way. Terrific explosion here, and just a great finish. Got the composure, you can run fast, and she has speed to burn, but just that little bit of a settler before you can execute your kick, and she did that beautifully. And they are 2 to equal 3 from smashing this open.
Kathy Spark deserves a goal.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? That's 9 individual goal kickers.
11 disposals for Kathy Spark, 10 tackles, 1 goal, 2. Had a sensational game tonight.
One more goal, one more major, Ben. You're on the edge of your seat here.
I know.
And they crack it for the highest ever score in AFLW.
So Wardlaw's moved into the ruck. Bella feeds it out to Stanton. Towards half. Bohanna crashes the pack. Svark comes in, spills to Drennan. Row bottom, squeezes a kick inside 50. It's all Brisbane though. Campbell just hacks it out of there. Now it's a foot race. Kathy Svark, you're not going to beat her in a foot race. Does really well to keep the ball alive. She's still going, Kathy Spark. Gets boot to ball. Just puts it into the path of Yoshida Martin. The bounce didn't favour her. And the ball's still alive, close to the boundary line. Daisy Darcy squeezes a kick. Row bottom stands tall against O'Dwyer. So we're into the final minute here at Metricon Stadium. Row bottom kicks long. Howarth cleverly taps it to Dupay, kicks inside 50. Monahan there for Brisbane. She'll tap it to advantage. This might be the last roll of the dice of Brisbane to try and get that record score, but Yorston will have a bit to say about that. Kicks Gold Coast into attack. Ellinger at the fall of the ball. Bates to Spark. Back to Bates. Kick partially smothered. Kicks out to the wing. Farquharson. Rowbottom against O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer wins out, gets around one. A long kick down the wing. The bounce goes over the head of Yoshida Martin. Suns have numbers. Ahrens. Kick towards half forward. And they might just keep Brisbane away from that record score here, Gold Coast Suns. The ball goes over the boundary line with a couple of seconds remaining. So it's been one comprehensive victory by the Brisbane Lions. They led all day by 19 at quarter time, 42 at half time, 59 at three-quarter time. And at full time, Brisbane Lions have sent a message to the competition in more ways than one. They are not done yet.